Being an evil genius is all about playing outside the rules, and in this video we'll look at some essential ways to do exactly that. First up, let's draw your attention to that lovely enticing subscribe button down there. Look at it, sumptuous red, so clickable. Subscribing means you never miss out our fresh vids every week, so just putting it out there really. Now then, usually there's a bit of stigma attached to cheat codes. It's like admitting defeat or pulling the game's pants down to reveal all the bits of code it never intended for you to look at. But when the game in question is 2004's Evil Genius, it feels a bit different. Firstly, it's from 2004. We've all had plenty of chance to play around in it the legit way by now, so is it still cheating 16 years later? I mean, M. Night Shyamalan's The Village came out in 2004, so is it still a spoiler to mention that bit in the end when it all turned out to be going on in the Stuart Little universe? No, it's not. So here are some cheats. 5 of them to be precise, each making an immediate impact on the game with some pretty incendiary results. Let's start with a very evocative cheat code, Global Chaos. You might imagine that typing in such a phrase would unleash a jamboree of fireworks and destruction all over your screen, but in fact the actual result is a lot more useful. After activating the Human Z cheat, if you're not familiar, just type the word Human Z into the game as it appears here, then hit Ctrl and M, and you'll basically turn all the forces of justice against each other. This makes your life a lot easier if you've got them already in your base or prowling around the perimeter, because they'll be too busy taking each other out to do any real damage to you. Ready to make your base a bit more crowded? Just do the old Human Z cheat again and then hit Ctrl and A to spawn in your very own Army of Darkness. That is one of every henchman and one of every minion type spawning right where the cursor was. Blimey, that is a lot of hench. You might want to do this in order to fend off an invading force, or you might choose to use it as a sampler for each henchman, get a feel for them in a bit of a cheat save, and then figure out who you'd like to actually recruit in your non-cheaty save. Either way, it's Red Ivan on tap. The Fire-in-the-Disco cheat is a famous part of Evil Genius's undergarments, which we've covered before on the channel, but we can't make a video about cheat codes in this game without giving it a mention. Referencing Electric Six's Danger High Voltage, a band with the enduring cultural relevance of a Catherine Tate catchphrase, it's a bizarre addition to the commands list in that, well, it does this. That's right, everyone's just on fire. I mean, I see what they did there. After doing the Human Z cheat, just type in the exact phrase, Fire in the Disco, with no spaces, and you get that. Quite why you'd ever need it is beyond me, but I've still found myself doing it on more than one occasion, so I can't pretend to be above it. Here's a quick and dirty one for anyone feeling like they're not in the mood to deal with interlopers with the usual subtlety and subterfuge. An instant airstrike at the push of a button. Well, 2 I suppose, and after you've done that Human Z cheat again. Now, the forces of justice snooping around is usually no biggie because you've probably laid down an Alton Tower's worth of traps all over your base and you quite like watching it all work, don't you? Or you've got some powerful henchmen like Kane or Red Ivan who can see to problems like this on their own, either by stopping a character in their tracks or just blowing the utter living heck out of them. But say you want a more immediate effect on the situation. It doesn't get more immediate than pressing Ctrl and S and then having an airstrike raid down. Now does it?
Evil Genius taking damage. Situation critical.
Okay, this last one is a little bit trickier to get going, but well worth it. To spawn a specific number of a specific minion type, you'll first need to activate debug mode. So it's goodbye to Human Z bingo and hello default.tsb in your Evil Genius /dynamic resources /config folder. Once you've found that, add the line toggle debug commands, Ctrl and D as it appears on screen here, and then save it. Now when you've loaded a game, press Ctrl and D or the tilde key and you've got access to the dev controls. There are literally hundreds here that we could go over, but let's just focus on this one. You'll need to type add, then the quantity you want to add, and then the code for each minion type. So add 5102 will give you 5 valets. We've got all the item codes for all the minions in the description below, so check them out. Like I said, there are hundreds more cheats for Evil Genius, so this is really just scratching the surface with 5 of our favourites. Let us and your fellow EG players know the codes you like to play with in the comments below, and again, don't forget to subscribe to Rebellion for more. Until next time, stay out of that console, you scallywags.